Okay, so I finally finished the astronomer's house and her garden that is supposed to represent the solar system. I wanted to go over what I did. Uh, Hopefully you don't laugh too much, but I think I did an okay job. Started with the sun in the middle, and then I thought, well, I like a big deck, like around my house, so I did solar flares and made a deck around the entire house. And then for Mercury, I was trying to think of something hot and something that was red and near the sun. So at the end of the deck, I had these tiki torches here on the outskirts of the solar flares. Thought that would be good for Mercury. And then I was reading about Venus, and it says Venus is the brightest thing in the sun, or the brightest thing in the sky at night besides the moon. So I thought these little lanterns hanging all around the deck, kind of all this stuff here, I thought that would be a good representation of stuff that's bright. So I thought that would be good for to represent Venus, since that was one characteristic of Venus, is it was one thing that you could look into the night sky and see. So I thought the lanterns all the way around would be a good representation of that. And then for the Earth, I did the river, since the Earth is made predominantly of water. And then it had little chunks of land. You can see the little chunks of land here in the river. So I thought that would be good for the Earth. And then right outside the Earth, this gray kind of gravel area, I thought would be good for the moon. Because gravel, I think of the moon kind of being all dusty and sandy. So I thought that would be good for the moon. And then outside of that, I have Mars. And I couldn't think, what could I do for Mars? And then Faith actually helped me out. She'll be proud that I said that, because she was all excited about it. She thought, well, what about one of those brick fire pits? And I could do red bricks, since it's a red planet. So I did a little fire pit over here on a deck. And I thought that would be good for Mars. Or Faith thought that would be good, actually. And then outside of those 4 planets, I did the asteroid belt. And I thought this rocky trim all the way around, outside the moon, outside Mars and Earth and Mercury and Venus, would be good to represent the asteroid belt that separates the first 4 planets and then the gaseous planets on the outside. So I did that. And then, okay, so we get to Jupiter, which I figured it needed to be big, and it needed to have the red spot that Jupiter had. So I thought a gazebo would be good. So I drew a gazebo out here, and then the roof had that red spot on it. And then I was looking for my next planet, Saturn. And so I was thinking, okay, Saturn is known for having these rings. So I thought I'd come up with this kind of funky tree. So I have this tree over here that is separated into rings. You can see a ring here, and then a bigger ring, and then another ring there. So I thought that would be good for Saturn. And then I moved on to Uranus, which I couldn't think of anything to do. But I did a little bit of research, and I found that it was the first planet to be located using a telescope. So I thought, well, this is an astronomer, so the astronomer, maybe she'd want a telescope. So I put a telescope over here on a nice little deck, and that represents Uranus. And then Neptune is named after the god of the sea. So I thought, well, what garden isn't good with either a pond or a pool? So I thought that would represent Neptune over here, our little pond. So that's what I did my garden as. Notice it's not on poster paper, it's not 3D, it's just markers and crayons. So don't go crazy this weekend trying to do something big if you don't have the time for it. I just took me some time coloring and being a little creative. But I hope you like the astronomer's house and her garden. Have a good weekend.